Good afternoon, everybody. If you haven't met me before, my name's Mike Roberts. I do these post-game lectures. We'll be going over the four lesson hands that we had planned today. Fortunately, they're in within the 10 boards you played. If you'd like to go over any of the other hands, I'm happy to do that once we're done this lecture. It shouldn't take too long. I'll start out by sharing a copy of the hand. Oops, what's it doing? There we go. What is it doing? Okay, I'll put the lecture ones in the end when I can work it out. But for now, let's go on with these ones. So the topic was past hand bidding. Unfortunately, past hand bidding does involve some conventions. So I'm going to discuss a couple of the common conventions that people play when they've passed and their partners open the bidding in third or fourth seat. Um, I so the boards 3 and 4, I'm going to give the same auction, and it's going to have two different meanings depending on whether you're playing the convention or not. But hopefully they'll give an idea of how you start to act when you're bidding as a passed hand. The big thing about bidding as a passed hand is there are very few bids that are forcing. Because you've already denied 13 points, your partner can pass almost anything that you bid. So, for example, one heart pass, one spade normally is 100% forcing call, but pass one heart pass one spade isn't because you won't have 13 points. If partner knows that there isn't a very good likelihood of game, they might choose to get out fairly early. So hand three is an example of that without any conventions. So here we go on that one. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. Okay. I think the auction should start with two passes, and North can open one heart. Um, I'll get to third seat bidding in a bit, but North opens one heart. So South is close to a standard American two club bid. It's pretty close between two clubs and one no trump. As a passed hand, you can sort of lower the requirements for a 2/1 bid. Not too much, but because you're still going to the two level. I'd say about 9 to a bad 12 points rather than 11 or 12 points. So I think that this one is a good hand that you can bid two clubs. You can start describing your distribution, shading the points a little, but you can, because you have the luxury of partner knowing you can't have that strong a hand, you can make more natural bidding than you might otherwise have to. So pass one heart, pass two clubs. I'll say 9 to 12. Uh, Usually five clubs. The reason why you want to have a good suit here is because the North hand knows that there probably isn't a game. They have 12 points. They should know that there's no heart fit. Because all of the past hands bids are non-forcing, you can't do a two-step action to show a fit. You can't you have to show a fit right away somehow. So if you a new suit would deny three card support of partner's major suit, whatever it is. One no trump, one spade, two clubs here clearly denies three hearts. Given all of that, North knows there's no game, there's no major suit fit, and our instinct should be it's not a very well fitting hand. Let's get out quickly. So I think it should go pass here. East West, neither of them have a very easy action. Um, East could make a takeout double of two clubs the second time, but they don't have very good spades. Their high card are in hearts, and they don't have very good distribution. And most importantly, they're vulnerable. It's going to be a part score battle, and the vulnerability is going to play a very important role in that. So I think it should go two clubs pass, pass, pass. And you can see the advantage of past hand bidding here is that you've managed to stay very low on a misfit. If you played 2-no trump, that should be going down fairly easily. I'll get to the play in 2-no trump in a second. But in two clubs, what do we do? So opening lead, we don't lead something like the a speculative ace of diamonds, even though it works out pretty well on this hand. Uh, you lead fourth best from an unbid suit. That's the pretty standard one. Now declare gets to look at losers. They have three diamond losers. Can't tell, but one spade loser maybe. No heart losers. One club loser, maybe two on a bad day, maybe zero on a good day. It all sort of depends. Um, but at trick one, they don't have anything, any reason. There's probably not a singleton spade. So maybe they've led away from the king. Let's try test that out. So after the five of spades, East wins the king. And there's no reason to get fancy and unblock. So what does East know? East should know that if their partner had the queen and jack of spades, that they would have started spades by leading the queen. And if declare has the jack, or in this case, the queen, there's a danger that there could be a pitch coming on spades. Certainly, we're not going to take any other high card trick in spades because declare has the jack or the queen. So given that we don't have any tricks coming in spades, I think East should shift to a diamond here. And they take their three diamond tricks. Let's just have them do that. And then they, oh, that's why. Sorry, I muted the bitch face. And then they can come back something. Um, Now there's no reason we want to start leading trumps. Let's lead them from dummy. We might as well just overtake the spade. We don't need the ace of spades. We don't need to get a pitch on the spades. We have the ace king of hearts for the two low hearts. So let's win the spade. Play in case I think the right line is to play a club to the, or sorry, I think the right line is to play the jack of clubs. If East has king 10 third, you can get all the club tricks this way. But West has the king. So we're okay now. They come back probably the jack of spades. And we can rough, draw some trumps, and that'll you can see from here, it's going to make exactly two clubs. That's about what you'd expect with a minimum opening bid opposite a passed hand. On misfits, you need to get out really early. So past hand bidding, the advantage is, and somewhat the disadvantage is, that new suit bids are non-forcing. So you can get in and get out quickly. Um, I'll just show you what would happen if we did make a, not a huge overbid, but so say that, sorry, all the way back. Okay. So say that North said, "Oh, two clubs. I should bid over this." You don't have to. If they bid 2-no trump, that would probably end the auction as well. 2-no trump should go down with the defense taking four diamond tricks, the king of clubs, and a spade trick. It might get a little difficult. But you can probably see 2-no trump is a far worse contract than two clubs. So the advantage of getting out quickly with a misfit on a past hand is you're playing makeable contracts instead of unmakeable contracts. So that's the big lessons of past hands. Almost nothing is forcing. So we'll go over that one. All right, let's get to the next one. Oh, that was under chat. Okay, so having said that, I'm now going to introduce a convention. This is a fairly common one, and it's fairly easy to play. It's called the Drury Convention. So what it is this Canadian in the 50s, Doug Drury, I think it's Doug Drury, invented it because his partners would open very light in third and fourth seat. So he invented two clubs as a response to an opening bid, saying, "Oh, do you really have an opener?" And over time, they worked out, well, we only do that with a fit. So I'll show you how it works. So pass. East has 11 high card, but they've got five spades. You probably wouldn't open this in first or second seat, but in third seat, especially when you've got major suit length, and especially when you've got a good suit and you're trying to pinpoint a lead, you can open a point or two lighter in third and fourth seat than you do in first and second. So I think almost every expert player would open the East hand one spade, and South says pass. So West has um, 10 points, 11 with the Doubleton spade. So I think it evaluates as a limit raise in spades. If you just want to bid three spades, that's fine. East will pass and you're playing three spades. But the way that the Drury convention works and there are more complicated methods, but the simple one is two clubs opposite a one of a major opening says nothing about clubs. It says you have a limit raise in spades. Partners should be able to decide what to do. So if partner bids two of the major, oops, sorry, partner bids two of the major, that says I just want to play two spades. It's very rare that you bid over that. Um, two diamonds is the only tricky bid. Two diamonds says I have a full opening bid. I have a real opening bid, but I don't want to go to game opposite a limit raise. West can now choose to bid something other than just going back to two spades, but you can investigate a lot more. You're at a low level. So the advantage of two clubs is you can stay at the two level opposite these very light. So on this hand can bid two spades, and East West are playing two spades despite the fact they've got a limit raise opposite the opening bid. That can be, it depends on how aggressive you are with the third seed openers and fourth seed openers. But if you're a point or two light, you have the fit, you don't want to end up at the three level when you don't have to be. So the Drury convention, I advise you to look it up. I'm giving the very simple version. It's just two clubs as a limit raise and partners opening bid of one of a major. That contradicts hand three, where I was saying two clubs should be natural. You have to decide to play this convention, but it's a useful one. It's pretty easy to play, and most experts play some form of it because it comes up a lot more than a natural two club bid. It's the frequency thing. So in addition to being useful, it's a lot, the frequency of Drury two clubs is a lot bigger than a standard two clubs. So so let's try test the play in spades anyway.
May I
So
ask
if
a
he's,
bidding question?
oh, sure.
Okay, so if you're playing 2/1 as your format for playing, you're not playing standard, you're playing 2/1.
Right.
Do you need to have four spades in order to make that three spade bid?
Well, if you play the Drury convention, 2/1 is about the same as standard with past hand bidding. Um,
Oh,
because
because it's
one no
past.
trump isn't forcing anymore.
Okay,
You
so
don't
if you
have
have a
that.
past
So
hand, you don't have.
you can't bid one no trump and three spades with this kind of hand, which is what you would do in standard. If East opened one spade in first,
Mhm.
2/1 would bid one no trump forcing. Their partner would bid, and then they'd bid three spades to show a limit raise with three. You can't do that with a past hand because one no trump is very much non-forcing. That's why they play
Okay.
the. If you don't play Drury, then you can play three spade. Then you have to bid three spades with either three or four. You can't bid one no trump because partner will pass it with minimum
Oh,
hands and you'll miss your fit.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you do play a Drury so that you can bid two clubs with a limit raise with three, then you can bid three spades to show four. You can distinguish between the three card raise and the four card raise. I think
Oh,
that's the simple act.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
think
one thing that you can't do is you don't have a forcing no trump anymore because partner knows you, partner can pass it. So you
right.
need to show a fit right away when you have it.
Because yeah, that was where I messed up because I was a past hand.
Yeah, and it's an easy
Oh,
mistake to make, but
yeah,
I
that's
sort
what
of
I did.
rigged the hand so that if West did bid one no trump, East was going to pass it. So, uh,
Thank you
not
very
fair,
much.
really,
No, just
but
kidding.
that's why
It's
two
a
over
good
one
learning.
doesn't really affect past hand bidding. Everybody's on the same page.
Thank
So
you.
forget about two over one once you've passed. You just have you either play Drury or you don't, but two over one doesn't really come into it
Right, yeah, because I was thinking I couldn't bid three spades because I only
because
had
it shows
three,
four.
but
Yeah,
I
it's the
realized
difference between past hand bidding
I
and
had a past hand.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course, of course, of course. Okay, let me go over the play a little bit. So South is on lead. Queen of Hearts has a pretty normal lead. You have a two card sequence. It's an unbid suit. Five. This hand will encourage. Now let's count some losers. Hopefully no spade loser. Hopefully only one heart loser. There's two heart losers, but we should be able to rough one in dummy as long as we don't draw trumps right away. Two club losers, but there's a danger they might get a club rough. The advantage is if they do get a club rough, then we should be able to pitch the diamond loser on the fourth round of clubs. So what two hearts, one of which hopefully we can rough, two clubs and a diamond are our five losers. We hope trumps break, but sometimes they don't. But we can't really tell the opponents to please make the trumps break. So on the Queen of Hearts, it's a good idea to duck this. The opponents have very little information. We want to rough a heart in dummy. So we might as well duck this. If they get a club rough, they get a club rough, but they have to find it. I don't see any reason why they should here. They'll probably just continue another heart. Now it's a pretty easy hand to play as long as we don't ram after trumps right away. We play a heart roughed. Excuse me. Now notice that the way the hearts are played, um, North should know that South still has the jack that declares out of hearts. South should know that North still has the king. So the heart suit should be, oh, I almost swore there. The heart suit should be known by everybody. Um, Declare wouldn't have ducked with the ace king of hearts. So after we've roughed our heart, now we can go after trumps. So let's draw some trumps. Because you're a little worried about clubs. Should yeah. So now they lead the queen of clubs, for example. They're gonna you need to go after clubs because you need to knock out the ace king. So if South wins the king, they should work out that everybody's out of hearts, so there's no real point in playing a fourth round of hearts. And there's a danger that the club suit could set up for a pitch. The declarer could get rid of their diamond loser. So after winning the club, I think a diamond shift is right. Now, North isn't sure who has the queen of diamonds, so they play the king. Now they can cash the ace of clubs, and that's going to be it. So again, I did rig this hand a little, but you can only make two spades against defense that isn't too challenging. The defense might have taken a club rough instead, but I think the limit of the hand is going to be two spades. This is one of the advantages of past hand bidding is you can use this Drury convention to stay at the two level instead of the three level, even though you have a fit. There are lots of these part score hands where the three level is just too high, even with a combined 21, 22 point hands. And the Drury convention lets you stay low at the 2 level. Describe the tell your partner that you have a fit right away. That's useful. Uh, and hopefully get out at a makeable contract instead of an unmakeable contract. This is part of the theory of past hand bidding. You want to get in quick, describe your hand ideally with 1 bid because there aren't and there are almost no forcing bids. You want to be able to describe your hand as best as possible with 1 bid. I think that's your best statement about past hand bidding. Uh,
Mike, I have a question.
of course.
On this hand, we all passed out.
Yeah, this is it wasn't the subject of this,
Yeah.
but the advantage when your partner is passed and you're looking at 11 or 12 points, you know that there isn't going to be a game. The reason that people don't like opening light in first seat is partner will have a huge hand and take you too high. So I'll just
Mhm.
let me bring the hand back up if I can.
Because when you apply the rule of 20 to say, do I open or not, it
Yes,
doesn't fit.
that's the East hand doesn't fit the rule of 20. So I
Right.
agree with you. And if you just bid exactly the same way in third or fourth seat than you did in first or second, you'll survive. You'll be in decent shape.
Mhm.
But lots of people work out that if I have 11 points and I know my partner doesn't have that much, it's probably the opponent's hand. So let's get in there before they can. That's why people tend to open a little light. So I think the rule of 20 only specifically applies to first or second seat. Third seat, it really is dependent on your major suit strength and length.
Mhm.
Because part score battles are won by the major suits for the most part.
Okay.
So if you've got a good major suit hand, you can open a point or two lighter than the rule of 20 suggests, because you're going to win part score battles that way.
Okay.
That's why, and so you've got to have methods to sort of cater to that. Fourth seat's a special one, a special case. That fourth seat is all about the spade suit. I didn't get into it on this one, but most players open a point or two lighter in third seat with the major suit openings. Minor suit opening should be about the same. I wouldn't open with, like, say if I had this same hand, but the club suits and the spade suit were switched, I probably wouldn't open a club. I would just pass. But because I have the major suit, and I think it's probably going to be a part score battle, I'll open a little light, both to mess up the opponents and hopefully steal a part score quickly.
Okay. Thank you.
It's one of the match point joys.
Yeah.
All right. On to another one. I think it was board 7. Sorry, let me just put the lesson hands in here. Okay. Let me make sure I got the right board just to make sure. Come on, you. There we go. So, board 9. Okay, there we go. All right, next one. Okay. So this is another one with past hand bidding. Now, when I said everything is not forcing, here's an exception. Again, it's going to be a convention, but this is one that this has been around forever and ever and ever. So North, very close, but I think they should pass. It's 10 high card, 9 cards, so it's 19 high card. It's close, but I think it's a point light for a first seat opener. East passes. South opens 1 spade. They're a point light for opening a no trump. Pass. So how about the North hand? Uh, this evaluates to 10 points. You can add a couple of points for the singleton club. You certainly have a solid limit raise here. Some might even say you have a little more, but here's the point of this hand. What do you use as a jump shift by a passed hand? If you play it as an unpassed hand, if you play it as strong, you certainly don't need that anymore. There's very little point in playing it as a weak jump shift. You might have opened with a preempt and first seed anyway, and there's no point in trying to steal bidding room away from the opponents because you've already they aren't bidding yet. So there's no point in playing something like 3 clubs or 3 diamonds as a weak jump shift. So the most common treatment is a jump shift by a passed hand has it's called a fit showing jump. It shows limit raise values, it shows 4 trumps, and it shows a good side suit as well. So this is about the ideal hand for it. 3 diamonds says I've got 4 trumps, I've got some good diamonds, I've got about a limit raise. This is a very useful convention. If it comes up, the name I've seen attached to it is called a flower bid. I guess because it branches off the suit that opener is bid. But if a jump shift by a passed hand should show a 4-card fit with opener's opening bid, the 3rd seed opener. So in this case, it lets their partner know whether the diamonds are valuable or not. So here, South has 14 points. They don't have great cards in hearts and clubs, but now the king of diamonds grows up quite a bit. There's going to be lots of pitches coming on diamonds, we hope. It's going to sort of depend on what North's shape is in hearts and clubs, and you can't know that. So I think South has enough information to bid 4 spades. They don't know it's cold, but their partner has expressed that they've expressed a solid limit raise. We've got 14 with some fitting cards. I think that's worth going to 4 spades. Now, having said that, so this is the only forcing bid that I know of after a 3rd or 4th seed opening. A jump shift in a new suit means we're playing the suit that the 3rd seed or 4th seed opener has bid. Oh God, horrible grammar. We're playing partner's suit. I'm showing a fit in there, but on the way I'm saying I've got these good cards in this other suit. It's very good for evaluating cards as the opening bidder. In 4 spades. Let's defend 4 spades though. So West leads the queen of clubs and East wins the ace. So what does East know? East knows that South has the king of clubs. So that's going to be good for a heart pitch in dummy. Also, the diamond suit, they have no potential for a diamond suit. Either Declare has the king of diamonds, or if they don't have the king of diamonds, the diamond finesse is on. There's a lot of danger that Declare can take a lot of tricks in spades and diamonds if we don't attack our suit. Given that we have no future in clubs, so we're going to go after hearts. This is sort of an advanced play. If you've just returned the 9 of hearts, Declare can play low, West has to play the ace, and you can see now the queen of hearts is behind the king, so the queen of hearts will set up. What East has to do is they have to do what's called a surrounding play. The jack of hearts is, so you play this card so that the king 9 will surround this card in dummy, the 10. It comes up a bit more than you'd expect, and unlike most honor sequences, this isn't conventional. Partner has to be on the same wavelength as you. They won't expect you to hold the king of hearts when you lead the jack. Hopefully your partner has either attended this lesson or read about surrounding plays, so that when it goes jack of hearts, queen, now when they return a heart, Now they've got the king nine over the 10. That's the only way that you can beat four spades, which is a good contract. So the points that I wanted to make on this hand is the jump shift by a passed hand shows a fit. If you happen to do it into a major, like pass, one club, pass, two hearts, it shows a club fit, but it's specifically five in a major because you might still want to play that suit. Opposite a major suit, if you have a fit with partner's major suit, you're going to be playing that suit. But if you have a fit with partner's minor suit, you might want to play the major. So if that comes up, use that as a guideline. But the big thing, they're flower bids. If you want to read up on the convention, they're pretty useful, and there's not much use for a jump shift otherwise. Although if you do play Bergen raises, I think that probably beyond the scope of most of the classes. You can still play Bergen by a passed hand. It's okay there. But if not, I suggest using this one. All right, that and the surrounding play is worth looking into. When it comes up, it's really Declara thinks they have everything under control, and suddenly you're forcing them to take finesse they don't have to, essentially. All right, that was board 9. And the last one, board 10, fortunately. So this is one where I was trying to demonstrate that nothing is forcing still. Pass. So let's get the auction. Sorry. East passes 11 high card. Pass. This is a 1 heart opening. Pass. So this is one in standard. If you played standard American, this is a 2 club bid. If you played 2/1, it was a forcing no trump. Neither of those bids is forcing. And you need to have a better suit for a natural 2/1 response because partner can pass it right away. You don't want to bid 2 clubs here because I think the West hand should just, their instinct should be partner doesn't have enough for game. We've got a misfit. Let's get out. Pass it. And you're in a 4/1 fit. So 1 no trump can be a little bit stronger. You can play 2 no trump. Sorry, I'll go. Let's do it this way. 2 no trump shouldn't be Jacoby 2 no trump anymore. If you play that, you shouldn't play it by a passed hand. It doesn't mean the same thing. So you can play it as 11 to 12 and have exactly 2 cards in partner's suit. That's this hand. That works okay. 1 no trump semi forcing possible. But I like 2 no trump to do this. So I'd show my 11 to 12 points here. Now, West has a tough choice here. It's 14 and partner shown 11 or 12. That's probably worth going to 3-0. You've got aces and kings. They're a little bit underrated in the point count. So call it a good 14 and partner shown 11 or 12. That should do that one. The main point I wanted to make is you can't bid 2 clubs even in standard with this kind of hand. Just because it's non-forcing, you need to have 5 cards in a minor suit. Whereas you don't in standard. You can do it on 4 and even 3. But you shouldn't have a fit when you bid a new suit, and you should have a 5-card suit for that one. So this is the auction I'd suggest. The big thing is the Jacoby is not on by a passed hand. You can't have an opening bid, so you can't say, well, we're going to game opposite your opening bid. You can't have that kind of hand, otherwise you would have opened in first seat. So 2 no trump is natural. I think the West hand, it's close, but it's 3 no trump. Now we got to play this hand a little bit. Queen of spades led. So in no trump we count tricks. We've got 2 spades. If they split 3-3 or something fun happens, you'll take 3, but plan on 2 spades, the ace of hearts. We have no quick tricks in clubs, but if we can knock out the ace of clubs, we're going to take 3. So let's call that 3, but we've got some work to do. And we've got 2 diamonds. 3 if the jack of diamonds, if the queen of diamonds is onside, or maybe the diamond finesse will, or either the diamond finesse will work or they're 3-3. That might get us another trick. But we start out with very few quick tricks. We know we have to go after clubs. And if we have to go after clubs, we want to make sure we have enough entries as possible in our hand. So after the queen of spades, we want to win in dummy at trick 1. We have to plan the whole hand out before we decide where to win at trick 1. Because we want the entries to knock out the ace of clubs and set them up, we want to win in dummy. The reason we do this is now we're going to play the king of clubs at trick 2, and South does best to duck this. If we'd wasted the king of spades to lead a club towards the king and South ducked, now we won't have enough entries to knock out the ace of clubs and cash them. We only have the ace of diamonds as an entry. Once they've let the king of clubs, what should we do? Well, we've got two entries to our hand. We've got the ace of diamonds and we've got the king of spades. So we don't have to rush to play like a spade to the king and then knock out the ace of clubs. We're not in any immediate danger. Let's find out how the diamond suit's going to do. Let's take a diamond finesse. If it wins, great. Now we can go back to knocking out clubs. It loses, that's bad. And they knock out the ace of spades, or the king of spades. They've got some tricks to cash. But we've now got the threat of taking the 13th diamond as our trick. So now when we knock out the ace of clubs, and they'll cash their spades. But I won't go through the rest of the hand, but you can sort of see we've got the ace of hearts, we've got the jack 10 of clubs, and we've got the ace king of diamonds, and when they split 3-3, the 2 of diamonds or the 7 of diamonds will take trick 13. So it's a tricky hand to play. You have to make sure you have to work out where to win trick 1. And because the club suit was sort of tangled, we wanted to leave enough entries to the east hand so that we could set up the clubs if South did the right thing by ducking. Tricky hand. 3 no trump is makeable, but it was a tough contract. You'd sort of expect that with 14 opposite 11 or 12. But the fact that they were aces and kings made it a little bit easier. And again, I sort of fixed the hand, so it's a tricky one to play. So I introduced a lot of material in here, but if you come up with nothing, it's this. As a past hand, oh, sure, I will be happy to do that, Nancy. Let me just do my one little lecture and then I'll do this. The big thing is that aside from a jump shift and a new suit, which I think should show a fit, nothing is forcing. So you want to show a fit as quickly as possible, either jumping or showing a fit, showing jump, or if you play Drury, use Drury. But you can't do the same thing that 2/1 players do, going through a 2-step process to show a fit. It doesn't work because nothing's forcing. The advantage of nothing being forcing is that you can get out at a low level with misfits, even lower than usual. All right, I've just got to load up this table again so I can get back to 10. So just give me a second to do that. Sorry, Nancy, if you didn't see the chat message, Nancy wanted to go over the bidding in number 2. So I'm going to do that. And reading. Is this the right one, Nancy? Or anybody? This is hand number 2?
I'm looking. Is that the right one?
I don't know.
hand number, North is ace 9 6 2. Yes, that's it.
Okay, good. I was pretty sure it was, but okay. So let's see. East has 11 points, but it's not a good 11. The rule of 20 says this isn't an opening bid, so pass. South hopefully will pass. West, people can be very aggressive with third seat preempts. I don't, I can't advise you that this is a two spade opening. But having said that, there's a lot of players who just go through semi-structured insanity and would open at two spades. Uh, it would be okay to open a very, very light one spade. But I think until you get more comfortable with past hand bidding, I think the West hand is a pass rather than a two spade bid or a one spade bid. If you did open that, is that what happened at your table, Nancy, or did it go three passes?
Actually, it went, wait, I'm looking at the thing. East passed, South passed, West passed, North was one diamond.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go with that. Um, the West hand is the only one that I would think might not pass, but it's certainly not clear to open anything. So pass, 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 one diamond, I think is pretty normal. That was disappointing for East. They were hoping to make an overcall, but they bid the suit. So they have to pass. You don't want to overcall one no trump here, even though you've denied an opening bid. You don't want to make a call here. So I think South should bid one heart.
Right, that's what I did.
Yeah. West, I'll go through two different auctions. Let's start out if West passed, North bids a spade, pass. This is sort of a tough one for South. Nothing's perfect. The choice you shouldn't pass because North only has four spades, almost certainly. You don't want to play a 4-2 fit. There's two choices that are reasonable in my view. Two diamonds is going to be okay. North has shown four diamonds at least on this auction, because the only time they only have three is when they're 4-4-3-2, and they would have raised hearts with that. So two diamonds is a known 7-card fit. That'd be okay. The other call that's more than reasonable for me is two hearts. You usually have 6 on this, but you can't pass a spade, and you've got the Jack 10 of hearts. So it's pretty close to me between two diamonds and two hearts, with the South hand. Personally, I'd choose two diamonds,
Well,
but I
that's
think
what
two,
we did.
yeah,
But
I think two hearts or two diamonds are both very reasonable choices. I would choose two diamonds. Okay. If West chose to overcall a spade the next round,
That's fine.
they have the points. The suit's lousy, but if partner had you might need to get in there quick. If it's a part score battle, you get in there with spades. There was one, I was kibitzing an expert pair one time, and one expert just told the other one, "You had 8 points and you had 5 spades," and the other one, "Yeah, but there were like 5 to the 7." "I don't care. You had 5 spades. You got them in spades." That was a bit extreme, but spades are very valuable in part score battles. I think I'd bid a spade the second time around. North can either pass or bid a no trump. I think one knows that. You're describing your hand. You've got 12 to 14 points. You're going to have a spade stopper. At least you've described your hand to everybody here. Pass. South has about the same problem they did on the first auction, but here they know that North at least has a doubleton heart. So I think pulling that to two hearts is a little more reasonable than when West passed a North bid a spade. Because you know the partner can't have a singleton heart on this auction. They might have when it went to diamond and they rebid, and North rebid a spade. Either way, North should now get out with, if it was over two diamonds, I'd still get out whatever South chose after on their second round of bidding, North has a good minimum, but it's still a minimum hand. It's less than a no trump opener. So whatever South chose to bid, North should just be passing it. Okay, I think that
Would
was
it
it.
make, would
I'm
it
sorry?
make two hearts?
Oh, didn't even get that far. Let's see. We got 2 hearts. Probably not double dummy. But this is actually sort of interesting. It's the same kind of surrounding play that you have to do for the defense to take 2 club tricks. West has to at some point lead. Sorry, let's pass it out. West has to do something at some point to lead the 10 of clubs. And you can sort of see that that traps the jack, and then the queen 8 surrounds the 9. Nobody's ever going to find this play in real life, certainly not at trick 1. So given that, looks like you lose 2 hearts, a diamond, a club, and maybe a diamond ruff. So it feels like you should be making 2 hearts. 2 diamonds is going to be unfortunately uglier because of the 5-1 fit. But you don't know that. I mean, they're both 7-card fits. It's just one of them splits 5-1 and one of them splits 3-3. I think 2 hearts should make. We'll put it that way.
Oh, okay, because when I replayed it in two diamonds,
2 diamonds is going to be tough because they've
it
got all
didn't
those
work.
trumps.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
didn't.
I mean, you've got to try roughing spades in dummy. You're definitely going to lose 2 clubs, 2 hearts, and a diamond, and I think you're going to lose another trick in the end game just because they have more diamonds than you do.
Yeah.
So it feels to me like you're going to go down 1 and 2 diamonds, and you're going to make 2 hearts.
Well, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, guys. Well, thank you very much. Hope you had a good time playing. We'll have another game on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good afternoon/evening.
Thank you.